This 840 calorie bowl of oatmeal is my go-to sweet meal almost every day, but it is not the only thing I eat. I lost 30 pounds and now maintain visible abs while eating pizza, chocolate spread on bread, and quite a lot of rice. And the secret? A simple base of meals I actually enjoy, tracked consistently. There's no restrictions, no complicated meal plans, just a system that actually works. Let me show you exactly how. First, brutal honesty, and this might sound boring to you. I have a base of simple meals I eat almost every day, but here's why that is actually my superpower. No decision fatigue, no guessing, no wondering if I'm hitting my target. I track everything with a kitchen scale, I count every calorie, and I personally love the control. And this is what allows me to eat pizza, chocolate spread, rice, whatever I want, because I know my numbers. And I used to hate calorie tracking as well, believe me that guys, but once I just told myself to track for like 1 to 2 weeks and give it a try and see what I actually consumed, I realized how much easier it made my life. And now I tracked more than 250 days in a row because controlled food intake wins every single time. After losing 30 pounds and keeping it off, I learned that consistency beats variety. I'd rather have a simple base of foods I enjoy on repeat than stressing about meal planning, because that simple base gives me freedom to eat other things when I want them. My daily target is around 1700 calories with approximate 106 to 133 grams of protein. That's 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. And if I go over on protein, that is perfect. And if I'm slightly under the target, then I make up for it on the next day. And here's the key to making this work. My protein sources stay consistent, and that's how I always hit my target. But my carb sources, those ones are completely interchangeable. Rice, oats, bread, pizza, chocolate spread, ice cream, cake, whatever you can imagine. As long as I hit my calorie and protein target on that day, I can swap any carbs that I want. And that's flexibility. Now let me show you my go-to meal. Here's how my day flows. In the morning I have a black coffee and that's about it. Then I go walk for 10,000 steps, do my calisthenic workouts, and I eat my first meal around lunchtime. I'm just not hungry in the morning and I really hate exercising on a full stomach. Simple as that. I have 2 meal scenarios depending on the day. Let me break them down both. Oatmeal day is my favorite because this bowl is absolute massive and people never believe I can eat this much on a cut and still have a massive dinner later in the day. And here's my exact recipe. 5.3 ounces of oats, 1 medium large banana, 3.5 ounces of grapes, 1 to 2 scoops of protein powder, cinnamon to taste, and that's in total 840 calories in one bowl of food. And here's how I make it. I cook the oats in 5 cups of water for around 14 minutes, just below boiling point, and after cooking I add the protein powder, never during the cooking or it gets really weird. And the cinnamon I just add however much I like in the day. I really like the taste and it helps with blood sugar control. And there's a pro tip that I personally followed: adjusting the amount of oats to calorie targets and switching fruits for other low calorie options. And I cut 25% oats off my original oatmeal recipe, saving around 180 calories. And I switched from dates to grapes. Dates were 280 calories for the same amount. Grapes are only 70. Then I realized 1 banana is just as good, so I exchanged one of them for protein powder. Same calories, just more protein. And that's calories saved that I can use for even more protein later. And this bowl keeps me so full that I actually have to force myself to not undereat. I'm talking 6 to 8 hours of not being hungry, guys, sometimes even longer. It's just absolutely insane. And throughout the afternoon I drink 1, sometimes 2 coffees with around 3 tablespoons of milk each, adding about 30 to 60 calories for the day. And then for my second meal, yes, and this is still day 1 where I had this massive bowl of oats, I'm having 10 to 14 ounces of chicken breast or any form of lean meat and 4 to 6 whole eggs. And people think I'm insane when they see this plate, but this is just how you stay full, build muscle and still lose fat. Depending on the meat that I am using, this is around 300 to 500 calories. And then I just adjust the amount of eggs that I'm eating in base on that, making it a total of around 600 to 900 calories, but always adjusting the amount of food so I reach my daily calorie target. I cook the meat in my air fryer when possible, chicken thighs at 392°F for about 25 minutes, longer if frozen. And for food that I personally cannot prepare in the air fryer because it would taste funny, I use a frying pan with a little bit of ghee, and I mean really little. It's less than a teaspoon. I only use it so stuff doesn't stick to my pan or burn, and you shouldn't really go overboard here. Those calories of the fat add up really fast. And in total on oatmeal day I have about 1700 calories, more than 145 grams of protein, approximate 135 grams of carbs, and around 57 grams of fat. Keep in mind that this is just estimated numbers. I always aim for my protein target and the same amount of calories, but carbs and total intake of fat will change depending on what I actually eat. On days I don't eat oatmeal, I eat the same meal twice, lunch and dinner. Here's the full breakdown. All the numbers I say now I am splitting into 2 equal meals. 10.5 to 14 ounces of chicken breast, turkey, chicken thighs or any other lean meat, 6.2 ounces of uncooked rice, 8 whole eggs, and in total 6 teaspoons of milk for my coffee. And here the same rules apply with the air fryer and the ghee usage. I usually prepare my meat fresh, so count the ghee calories twice, once per meal. The chicken goes in the air fryer, the rice in an available pot. Eggs, however, I like them in the day, sometimes boiled, sometimes fried. Takes maybe 30 minutes total to prep both of those meals. Day 2 totals now again 1700 calories, approximate 140 grams of protein, sometimes more and sometimes less depending on the types of meat that I'm eating, and also around 140 grams of carbs and 60 grams of fat. Now here's the thing, I'm not a robot and sometimes I switch things up. Carb sources I rotate is rice, that is by far my favorite, I genuinely love that. Oatmeal, bread, that's sometimes with chocolate spread if it fits my calories, potatoes, very rarely pizza, pasta, cake, whatever fits and I genuinely would enjoy. Then we have fruits that I've added back, bananas, grapes, whatever sounds good. And after 10 years of being plant-based, I'm keeping vegetables minimal right now, but might reintroduce them at some point in the future. I honestly got burnt out on them. At the moment I'll add some peppers or maybe some green beans to my rice occasionally, but I am focusing on what I actually enjoy eating. And the key is this, as long as I hit my calorie target and get 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, I can switch ingredients around. Want chicken thighs instead of breast? Cool, you just adjust the calories. Want sweet potatoes instead of rice? Track it and make it fit. Want to eat that piece of cake on rice day? Cut the rice equal to the cake's calories. And this is why I absolutely love tracking. It gives me control and freedom at the same time. So why does this stupidly simple approach work so well? There's zero decision fatigue and I know exactly what I'm eating. No stress, no planning paralysis. Fresh food simply tastes better. I know meal prep saves a bunch of time and stuff and some people are really busy, but fresh food is way more enjoyable and I choose to actively take time for cooking. And since these meals take only like 20 to 30 minutes max to make, why wouldn't I just cook them fresh? Consistency is king. Eating in the same structure or framework that I showed you means that I know I'm hitting my targets. No more guessing, no surprises, even with the occasional cake or pizza. High satiety, that oatmeal bowl, the chicken and eggs, these keep me full for hours and I'm never hungry, never feeling deprived. And the best thing about all of this, it's sustainable forever. This is not a diet. This is just how I eat now and it has no end date because I'm not restricting foods. I'm just choosing what works, and this is how I lost 30 pounds and kept it off, not with fancy meal plans or expensive fat burner supplements, just simple foods tracked consistently, eating in amounts that support my goals. Let me talk about protein for a second, because this is non-negotiable. At around 133 pounds, I aim for 106 to 133 grams of protein daily. That's 1 gram per pound at the high end and 0.8 grams at the minimum. And why I'm doing this? Because protein keeps you full way longer. It preserves muscle while losing fat. It has the highest thermic effect out of all of the 3 macronutrients, and that means it burns more calories by just digesting it, and it makes body recomposition actually possible. And if you look at my meals, every single one is built around protein first. Even on oatmeal day, I have lean meat, protein powder and eggs, amounting to around 145 grams of protein. On my lean meat and rice day, I have like chicken, for example, or any other form of lean meat and 8 eggs. That is 140 grams or more protein on that day. Carbs and fats are filling in the rest, but protein is always the foundation. And if you take one thing from this entire video, then make it this: prioritize protein and track it. Here are the practical things that make this work. Get a kitchen scale, and this is a non-negotiable. You cannot track accurately without it, and they are just like 10 to 15 bucks on Amazon. Use any free food tracking app that's got a QR code scanner to make tracking a little bit less of a pain. It makes it a lot easier. And then you're gonna log everything you eat. Also make sure you weigh your fats. Butter, ghee, oils, these are absolute insane calorie bombs. And 2 small teaspoons of butter is around 80 calories. And eyeballing this will destroy your deficit. Cook in bulk components. I don't meal prep full meals, but I'll cook my entire day's worth of rice at once. Chicken in the air fryer takes 25 minutes, whether you make 1 piece or 5. Find your simple meals. Mine are oatmeal and lean meat, rice and eggs. Yours might be different, and the point is to find 2 to 3 meals you genuinely enjoy, and you can use those as a base to build your own food framework. One more thing, supplements. I keep it stupid simple here too. A daily multivitamin for convenience and vitamin D3, because let's be honest, living in Germany means we don't get much sun, especially in winter. I've also taken creatine in the past because it helps with performance, and I'll probably add it back in the future. But here's the thing, I haven't taken it in 6 months and I'm still making huge progress in my calisthenics. It is helpful, but definitely not essential. But that's a topic for another video. And that's about it. No fat burners, no pre-workouts, no expensive supplement stacks. Just covering my nutritional basis while keeping my diet minimal. The protein powder in my oatmeal is more of a food than a supplement. It's just an easy way for me to hit my protein target, and any brand works as long as it fits your calorie target and your taste buds. Don't fear repetition, like seriously don't. You probably eat the same breakfast most days anyways, and you're just gonna extend that now to lunch and dinner. What about eating out? Real talk, at this point, I do not eat out much right now because I'm super focused on my goals. But when I do, there's some options. Option number 1, you can save calories. If I know I'm going out for dinner, then I will just skip my oatmeal and have a smaller meal if I'm too hungry. Option number 2 is to estimate and just move on. You order something that's protein forward, like steak, chicken, fish, anything like that. You estimate the calories. You log those estimated calories, and then you just get back on track the next day. And option number 3 is you just make it a maintenance day. Sometimes I just eat at maintenance calories. That is around 2,100 calories for me if we factor in the walking that I do, and then just don't stress about it. The key is not letting one meal derail you. One meal doesn't make you fat, just like one meal doesn't make you lean. It's what you do consistently that matters. Here's the biggest mindset shift I had to make. I used to think tracking was restrictive and I always went against it, and then I decided to just give it a shot for 1 to 2 weeks to actually know what I was consuming, because I really wanted to improve my health physically and mentally. And I say to myself, track for a short period of time and then you will know you're on a good track, and then you can stop tracking if you still hate it as much. And as of recording, from the moment of that choice to today, it's been over 250 days of consistently tracking everything. And now I realize it's liberating. Because I track, I know I can eat the chocolate spread on bread and I still hit my goals. I know I can eat the pizza occasionally and it won't ruin anything. And I know exactly where I stand every single day. No guilt, no shame, no I ruined my diet spirals, just data, just information, just control. And honestly, I like that control. I like knowing that I'm not sabotaging my own goals. I like waking up every day knowing exactly what I need to do to maintain the body I worked hard for to build. And some people call this obsessive, but I call it intentional. You don't accidentally get or stay lean. You make choices that support your goals consistently over time. So that's it. That's how I actually eat to stay lean. No secrets, no magic foods, no complicated meal plans. Just simple foods I enjoy as a base, tracked consistently in amounts that support my goals. And look, I'm not going to promise you will transform overnight, But if you take this seriously and apply it consistently, this approach can genuinely change your life. It definitely changed mine. If you want to see how all of this comes together, the full story, the struggles, the complete system, check out my video on how I lost 30 pounds with 3 micro habits. That's where you will see everything in action. The link is in the description and it will show up here on the screen in any moment now. And if you don't want to miss future videos just like this one that give you real actionable advice, hit that subscribe button right now. I post as frequent as I can with the same simple approach. And now I'm really curious, drop a comment and tell me what's your go-to simple meal. I really want to know if there's anyone else eating as boring as me. Thanks so much for watching and I see you in the next one.